Going to jail can leave you with a heavy, heavy feeling of embarrassment. But here's the thing, it does not have to define your life. In this explainer, we're going to walk through how to understand those feelings and, more importantly, how to build a future that makes the past almost irrelevant. Let's get into it. I want to start right here with this. This is the absolute core truth we're going to build everything on. That moment, that event, it's part of your story for sure, but it is not your entire identity. It's so crucial to separate who you are from something that happened. Okay, so first things first. Let's get a real handle on this feeling. Feeling ashamed or embarrassed is a completely normal reaction. But what is shame really? Let's break it down into its parts. What feels like one giant, overwhelming wave is actually a mix of several different things. And when you can see the individual pieces, you can start to deal with them one by one. It's not so scary then.
So this breaks that wave down into 4 clear feelings. First, there's shame, that little voice in your head saying, I'm a bad person. Then there's fear, the constant worry about what other people will think. Then you've got rumination, which is just replaying the whole thing over and over in your head. And finally, the identity crisis, asking, who am I now? When you can name these parts, you really start to take their power away.
And this brings us right back to our main point. An event is something that happened to you or something you did. Your identity, that's who you choose to be today and every single day after. So let's start making that choice.
Okay, so we've identified the feeling. Now for the active part, changing your inner world. This is all about taking back the pen and writing your own story from this day forward. This just shows the power of a reframe so well. The old narrative, I'm ruined. That's a dead end. It's a story of defeat. But the new narrative, I made a mistake, I learned, and now I'm rebuilding. That's a story of resilience. It's not pretending it didn't happen. It's about deciding what it's going to mean for your future. This is so important. A lot of us wait to feel forgiving toward ourselves. But honestly, that feeling might never just arrive on its own. Instead, you got to think of self-forgiveness as a practice, an action you take. It's like going to the gym for your mind.
And here's a really practical exercise for that discipline. Get out a piece of paper. Number 1, write what happened. Just the facts, no judgment. 2, write what you learned from this, about yourself, your choices, life, whatever. And 3, write why this will not happen again. This isn't just about making a promise, it's about identifying the real changes you've made. This whole process helps give your mind some closure.
Now that we've done some work on the inner world, let's talk about the outer world. Managing other people's perceptions and that fear of their judgment.
So here's the deal. You are in complete control of your story. You don't owe anyone the details. You get to decide what you share, who is trustworthy enough to hear it, and why you're even sharing it in the first place. You own this narrative.
And if you're ever in a spot where you feel like you need to say something, here's a simple, really powerful script. It's honest, it's brief, and it redirects the focus to growth in the future. It basically closes the door on more questions without being defensive. Feel free to adapt it and make it sound like you.
Now let's really tackle that fear of, what if people find out? Let's just play it out. Worst case scenario? Yeah, okay, some people might judge you for a little bit, and then their attention will move on to something else. The realistic scenario, most people are so wrapped up in their own lives, they'll probably forget pretty fast. But the empowered outcome? Your story becomes one of overcoming adversity. And you know what? People respect that.
This brings us to the most powerful strategy of all, building a present and a future that is so strong, so full of purpose, that the past event just loses its power over you. It just shrinks.
So how do you do that? Well, you focus on the fundamentals. A stable routine brings order and predictability. Nurturing positive relationships builds up your support system. Setting new goals gives you a direction to move forward. And focusing on your skills or your career, that builds confidence and self-esteem. As your new life gets bigger, the old embarrassment just gets smaller.
And a huge part of this is who you surround yourself with. The wrong people will try to keep you chained to your past. They'll gossip, they'll shame you. You got to cut them out. The right people, they'll see you for who you are today, they'll believe in who you're becoming, and they'll acknowledge your growth.
And this isn't just a nice idea, it's a total game changer. The impact is huge. The right support system can feel like it accelerates your recovery tenfold. Seriously, choosing your circle is one of the most important decisions you'll make.
So as we wrap this up, I really want to reframe this whole experience. This isn't some permanent stain on your character. It can actually be the foundation of a profound strength and resilience you never knew you had.
You can't change what happened. That door's closed. But these are the doors that are wide open right now. You can learn from it. You can rise from it. And you can move forward with a new sense of purpose you might not have had before.
Let this one sink in for a second. The ability to recover, to rebuild, to learn, that says infinitely more about who you are as a person than the mistake that got you here ever could. The comeback is the real story.
And finally, just remember, you are not alone in this. Not even close. Think of all the successful people, from business leaders to celebrities to activists, who have a past that includes the justice system. They came back stronger. Your journey is part of a long tradition of human resilience.
So I'll leave you with this question. The event is written, yeah, but the rest of the book is blank. The power to decide whether this chapter is a tragedy or the beginning of a powerful turnaround, well, that's entirely in your hands.